This picture, it's from 1971, a reception at the embassy. That's my father, a junior official in the Shah's government. And that man he's shaking hands with, smiling, he was an Israeli military attaché. Look at them. Two men in sharp suits sharing a joke. Their countries were friends. Dostan. Friends. It sounds like a fairy tale now, doesn't it? A myth from a forgotten age. But it was real. I remember. The ELL planes landing at Mehrabad Airport. The Israeli agricultural experts in Khuzestan teaching us irrigation. We sold them our oil, they sold us their weapons. We were two non-Arab powers in a hostile sea, both wary of Nasser's Egypt, both wary of the Soviets. Our spies, their spies, Savak and Mossad, sharing secrets in quiet rooms just like this one. It wasn't love. It was a partnership of convenience, a marriage of interests. But it was a kind of peace, a predictable world. Then, 1979. The ground beneath our feet didn't just tremble, it split open. The Shah fled, the Ayatollah returned, and the world was turned upside down. Overnight, the friend became the enemy, the little Satan, tethered to the great Satan, America. The Israeli embassy here in Tehran was handed over, a gift, to Yasser Arafat and the PLO. America. The Israeli embassy here in Tehran was handed over, a gift, to Yasser Arafat and the PLO, a symbol. And so began the long, cold war, the war of shadows. It wasn't a war of armies facing each other across a border. We have no border. It was a war of ideas, of proxies, of long-range vengeance. When Israel invaded Lebanon in '82, we saw an opportunity. We nurtured a new force there, a party of God, Hezbollah. They became our sword, pointed at Israel's northern border, our child of rage, born in their war. Then came the bombs, a community center in Buenos Aires, a bus in Bulgaria, their scientists' cars exploding on the streets of this city, our generals vaporized by drone strikes in Syria. A chess game, played with human lives on a board that stretched across the whole Middle East. Each move was a message, written in blood. And beneath it all, the hum of the centrifuges, our nuclear program. We called it our right, our pursuit of energy, our shield. They called it an existential threat, a bomb in the hands of madmen who promised to wipe them from the map. And so their viruses wormed their way into our systems, and their threats of airstrikes became the constant drumbeat of our lives. For 40 years, we kept our distance. We fought through others. We wounded each other from afar. There was a terrible, unspoken rule. We do not touch each other directly. Until we did. A few weeks ago, for the first time, the sound was not in Lebanon, not in Syria, not in Gaza. The sound was in our sky, and then in theirs. Drones and missiles, flying from Iranian soil to Israeli soil. The ghosts finally came out of the shadows, was in our sky, and then in theirs. Drones and missiles, flying from Iranian soil to Israeli soil. The ghosts finally came out of the shadows. The unspoken rule was broken. All the rage, all the posturing, all the threats of 40 years, made real in a single night. And now, we hold our breath. I look at this photograph. Two men, a Persian and a Jew. They are both long dead now. They lived in a simple world of enemies and allies. They would not understand this world, this war of 1,000 cuts, this slow dance towards an abyss. They would not understand how two ancient peoples who share so much history, Cyrus the Great, the Jewish Queen Esther, could come to this. In a simple world of enemies and allies, they would not understand this world. This war of 1,000 cuts, this slow dance toward an abyss. They would not understand how two ancient peoples who share so much history, Cyrus the Great, the Jewish Queen Esther, could come to this. The politicians in their offices, here and there, they speak of red lines and retaliation. They speak of deterrence and national pride. But they don't speak of the fear in the markets, of the mother in Isfahan who worries for her son, of the student in Tel Aviv who just wants to live a normal life. We are two peoples trapped in a story written by angry old men. This photograph, it's a ghost of a world that was. Not a perfect world, but a world where two men like this could still share a joke before the shadows swallowed everything.